All right, so we're moving right along here, making some progress. Next is we're going to be running the line. All right, plastic is all well and good, but not for what I'm after. Okay, there's a particular look and style I'm after for this bike, so I'm not going to run with this plastic stuff. It's all well and good, probably works great, but I'm going to run some standard steel copper nickel brake line, 3/16 brake line. And what I've done to make my life easier, also to make this a little bit more durable, because my shifter is going to be right here because it attaches here. This is where all my action is. So I've made up this brass collar. I threaded it, and it has a compression fitting in it, which is good enough, pardon me, which will be good enough for doing clutch line. You would never do a compression fitting on a brake line, but a clutch line, this will be more than enough to hold pressure. So I've drilled it. It's slightly off center to make my life a little bit easier, and I'm going to mount it like this. I'm going to use the supplied banjo bolt and washer. So put that on top. I've also notched this banjo bolt out just slightly right here in line with the hole. That way when I'm getting myself set up, in order to make sure I get pressure, I'm going to have it with it offset just slightly, so it gives me a larger chamber right there on that back side of that. So I'm just going to loosely mount this in. And I've already pre-bent a steel line for this. Now, what I probably should have done, we're good. We're only dry fitting. Okay. So my notch is right here. I'm going to make sure I push myself away so I give myself that chamber for the fluid to squeak its way in. Just like that. All right. Give or take. It sticks out quite a bit. All right. And then what I've done is I've pre-bent myself a piece of 3/16 steel line with an inverted flare end. And what the deal with that is I'm going to make a bracket here. That's why I had that extra long bolt. I've got a small bracket that I'm going to attach here. The brake line is going to run all the way up to here. And then I've already installed a little splitter block here. I've capped one brass fitting for my other end. And then from here I'm going to run another line up to the master. I'm going to do the master cylinder, I'll call it tomorrow, because I'm going to run this line and I'm going to call it quits for tonight. So I'm going to put myself back in the tripod. Give myself a wider angle here. Whoops. Hang on to your hats. We're moving. There we are. Now again, this is a little bit of a dry fit, because I wasn't exactly sure where I was going to wind up with this. There it is on the front clip. All right, I've got this one bent so it'll mount there. So I'm going to do a little bit of a modification to this end for sure. And I get my line set up the front. Okay, just a little bit of a test run for what I'm about to run here. And you can always cheat, you can always give a little bit of a bend, crank it there. I'll give that a little bit of tweak.